Welcome, everyone. And you're on Champions on the Dot. And we've got a great show for you this evening. As you can see, it's our Stanley Cup show. And I love ice hockey. I was born in Canada, and I was fortunate to be in Gordie Howe country. And then I spent a lot of time when I was a little kid here, and I'm here in upstate New York, where my cousins are located. And we've got a show because one of my cousins, he's now getting ready for junior hockey, and he's going to give us some insight as to what he thinks about the Florida Panthers versus the Edmonton Oilers. But before we do that, we always like to start with birthdays. And I want to give a shout out to some of my friends. It's their birthdays today. And here we go. Happy birthday to Tom Nye, one of my teammates at Stanford. Happy birthday. He turned 60 today. Happy birthday, Tom. I want to say happy birthday to John Campaglia. John used to work with my father in the furniture industry 50 plus years ago. And happy birthday to John. Happy birthday to Mark Purdy, who is a great sports writer in the Bay Area. Happy birthday, Mark. Happy birthday to Aubrey Tolliver, who is a sports announcer, sports producer, sports host, and she's there in the Bay Area, and she works with the high schools and the 49ers, and you'll be hearing a lot of Aubrey Tolliver in the future. She's the daughter of Angie and Mike Tolliver. Mike was a great wide receiver at Stanford and caught many touchdown passes from John Elway, and also signed a professional contract with the Dallas Cowboys. Outstanding player and a great friend, and happy shout out birthday to his daughter. And happy birthday to Kathleen Caldwell, who I met in training camp with the Raiders. And she turned, I'm not going to mention, but she doesn't look her age. She looks fantastic, and we talked about health and wellness. And I'm going to, before we bring on my cousin, I'm going to show you some amazing products here. And finally, happy birthday to Roxy Klein, who was on the Stanford golf team. Roxy, happy birthday. And boy, speaking of golf, what an amazing finish was it 2 days ago, the U.S. Open. And Bryson DeChambeau beating Rory McIlroy. What a great finish. And speaking of golf, Seymour putters, and Joey's going to talk a little bit about Seymour, right, Joe? We're going to bring him on. He's backstage because he used the Seymour putter, and my good friend Jim Grunberg, who's the head of Seymour. Seymour it's an amazing putter, and it's basically, if you can see here, it's hide the red dot. And Joey might want to mention that before he gets into his hockey. Hide the dot. And Payne Stewart won the U.S. Open with the Seymour putter. And then also want to shout out, thanks to my good friend John David Rainbolt. And this is the amazing Anacea product. Unbelievable. You can go to 2bekind.com. That's the number 2, the letter B, kind, KIND.com. This I put all over my body. It's an amazing product. It's a topical oil. I even brushed my teeth with it. It's fantastic. And then last but not least, water. I've learned a lot about water the last 3 or 4 months. I want to thank my colleagues, Teresa and Mita and Patty. Teresa Gregory's in Ohio, Mita Del Fiero's in Seattle, and Patty Yamada's in California, Northern California. This water is the best water I know on the planet. And if you want more information on how hydration affects your health, just let me know. You know how to get in touch with me, michaeldotterer@gmail.com. And I'm on all social media. So without further ado, well, actually, before we get our guest on, I want to thank the Las Vegas Raiders and Mr. Davis for an amazing event a couple weekends ago in Las Vegas. He brought the alumni, the Raider alumni, together to focus on wellness. It was the Raider Wellness Weekend. And Mr. Davis, thank you for your vision. You were the first owner in the National Football League to do this. All the NFL subsidiary health organizations were there. And thanks to you, it was a great time. There was some amazing teammates there. And I'm going to one special shout out to Jerry Robinson. Jerry, we're going to have you on Champions on the Dot. I promise you that. And thank you to Brian Holloway for encouraging me to get out there, and his beautiful wife, Julie. So thank you. And now we're going to bring on our special guest. This is my cousin Joe, and he is an outstanding hockey player. He loves the game. He's been on skates for his most of his life. He played at Christian Brothers Academy. He last year went to his prep school. He's going to maybe talk about that experience, a great prep school here in the Northeast. And now he's going to take the next step to go into juniors. And then we're going to talk about his thoughts about this upcoming great game tonight. The puck drops in, 24 minutes, 8 p.m. Eastern. So without further ado, Joey Dotterer, my cousin. Joey,
Hey,
welcome.
how's it going?
It's going great. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good.
Cuz?
You're having me on.
So, Joey, this is about you. You get to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Maybe you want to just talk a little shout out about Seymour putter. Tell us about what because you understand the putter better than I do, because you probably studied the physics of the putter. So go ahead.
Yeah. So the other day played a scramble with a couple of my buddies, and usually my putting game isn't on par, but I used the Seymour putter. It actually helped me a lot. I didn't hit good drives, which I usually do, but on the green I really performed and helped me and my buddy win the scramble. So that was great. The putter worked really well. No complaints here. I hit the red dot, and the lineups were good. Ball just kept going in the hole. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great. Well, you and Payne Stewart. Payne won that U.S. Open, famous U.S. Open back in 1999. So you're in good company.
Yeah.
So, Joe, let's talk about your background. Share with everybody, where you went to school, how you got involved in hockey, your passion for the game, where you are today, and where you want to go for the future.
Yeah. I don't really remember first getting on the ice or how I got into it. I think I was just thrown on some skates. My dad brought me out there. Just started skating around 3, maybe 2. He brought me out there, carried me. Yeah, I just playing hockey my whole life. Went to school at Christian Brothers Academy. Had a great time there, playing in the high school team. Great guys. Then I did a postgraduate year at Millbrook. And then, in the future, looking to play juniors, and then maybe college. Who knows? We'll see. But, yeah.
Well, it's an exciting time. You love the game of hockey, right? You love it?
Yeah.
It's in your DNA. Your dad played at MIT. He played baseball and football at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He was a double sporter. And your brother Cody, he's an outstanding hockey player like you. Mm-hmm. And your sister plays as well, your younger sister. What are your thoughts? What's it like to enter junior hockey? Tell some people out there what junior hockey is all about.
It's definitely competitive. I've already gone to a few skates and seen the skill level across the country, and you got to work. No lazy people are going to get far in juniors, because everybody's working hard. You got to work harder than them. Don't let anybody outwork you. So I've met a lot of great guys at tryouts, and it's hard to find a team, and looking to join a team. I don't know. It's competitive, to say the least.
Well, Joe, you know your Uncle Mike / Cuz Mike. What's the 3 letters when you talk? And this could be something you could share with the younger people listening today. What do you think the 3 important things are to be a great, not just an ice hockey player, to be a great in any team sport, whether it's American football, basketball, whatever sport it is? What are those 3 things? Can you share it with the youngsters out there listening?
I learned it from you. FTC, fun. You always got to have fun when you're playing your sport. Team, it's about the team, and the craft. You work on your craft. So yeah.
And tell me, you have this new device. You're probably wearing that new watch, right?
I'm not wearing it right now. It's charging, but yeah, it's called the Whoop. I use that.
What's that Whoop all about? What does it do?
It helps track really everything. I saw my brother using it, and then a bunch of my friends at prep school, so I decided to get one. And it really just tracks my sleep. It's constantly taking your heart rate, oxygen levels in your blood. I think that's what it also does. You journal on it, ask you a bunch of questions, and then you answer them. And yeah, it's like, did you use your phone in bed? And then it calculates that into your recovery, and tells you recovery, your sleep performance, and then strain, which is like how hard you work during a certain activity or something like that. But yeah.
What any indications, because you've been using it for a couple of weeks, anything you've discovered that you didn't know before you started using it?
Going into it, I only thought it tracked heart rate and sleep, but it tracks a lot more, recovery, stuff like that. It calculates a bunch of things, measures your heart rate when you're asleep, and then sees REM sleep, deep sleep, light sleep when you're awake, stuff like that. So yeah, for sure, it's been really convenient, and it's cool to see how good of a sleep you get.
Is it showing that you're getting that deep REM sleep?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, so I guess we can go right into talking about tonight's game. It's we're only about 18 minutes from the puck drop. And what are your thoughts about the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers?
So I've been watching most of the games. I don't think I watched the first game, but watching the games. I mean, Florida having Sergei in the net, Bobrovsky or whatever. He's been great for them. The other night, they gave up 8 against Edmonton. I think 5 were against Sergei, but 3 were after he switched. But yeah, I mean, he's been doing great. And last night, Edmonton or not last night, 2 nights ago or something when they last played. Edmonton really took it to the Florida Panthers, but other than that, I think the Panthers have been super dominant. It'll be cool to see who comes out tonight on top, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I hope Edmonton wins. I'm looking for an underdog story. It'd be cool to see a 3-0 comeback, but if I got some buddies in Florida, I wouldn't hate it if Florida won either. So
yeah. Well, we talked about we looked up some statistics. Could you share with the audience that what teams how many teams have ever come back from a 0-3 deficit?
I believe it was 1 when we looked it up. It was 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I kind of forgot, but yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a long time ago. So
yeah,
it'd be cool to see another one of those.
World War II was the last time an 0-3. And the other thing that's interesting about this matchup is it's the longest distance of any Stanley Cup to ever be played. I mean, to go from Miami, Florida to Edmonton, Alberta, which I don't know if you know, that's where my mom went to college, the University of Alberta.
Okay.
And have you ever been up in that part of the world yet, Joe?
No. Kid on my team this year from Millbrook, though, is from Alberta, which is pretty cool. He's a pretty good hockey player. Came originally as a lacrosse player and then walked onto the hockey team. Clutch player. It's good.
Yeah. Do you want to shout out to any of your teammates out there?
Yeah, sure. I'll shout out the Millbrook kids and then Valley kids, and that's really it. And then the kids I grew up with, cadets, Valley and cadets. I'll shout
Yeah.
them.
Well, if the Oilers can win tonight, Joe, they'll go 3-2,
Mm-hmm.
and then they head back to Edmonton.
Yeah.
And boy, could you imagine if the Oilers could tie it up 3-3, and then they have to head back to Miami for the final game.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, obviously the distance. It'd dig into their recovery process or whatever, but it'd be cool to see who's built for that, I guess, and who will come out on top.
What do you think of? I mean, if Connor McDavid plays his game and Draisaitl, obviously he's an outstanding player who's from Germany. He's a German player. Do you think? I mean, I've been told that if they play their game, Edmonton's, they're right there in every game. Would you? And obviously, it takes more than just two players. But what are your thoughts about the Oilers?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple games ago, the Oilers had a lot of ozone time, but still lost. But having McDavid, doing his thing, scoring, Draisaitl scoring, having those players come out and not carry the team. I mean, obviously the Oilers are a great team, but having McDavid is always a plus, I guess. I don't know.
What do you see, Joey, when you watch these NHL players? What are some of the key things that you learn, you can take from their game and apply it to your development? What are some of the key things that it helps you in your game when what are you looking for?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a right winger usually. I mean, I really play everywhere, but usually I pick a player and I watch him and I study how he, where the puck is and where he goes and stuff like that. Really positioning, and then you see how hard they work. Their puck control, their head's always up, they're super low. I mean, I look at some of the tricks they do. I learned one the other day. At the face-off, you're lined up against the D in the D zone, and you tap their leg, throws them a little off balance, and then you get to the puck faster. I mean, that's like a little trick, but I don't know if it's illegal or not. But people do that, and you pick up these little tricks that they do. Short passes. I've learned a lot from short passes. They're always moving the puck. Feet are always moving. But really, when I look at a player, I look at their positioning, where the puck is, and look at what they do.
Yeah. So, what's your schedule? What tryouts are you looking for in the coming 3-4 weeks? What places are you looking to go as far as junior tryouts?
I was mostly in the NCDC league. July is going to be my main month where I'm pretty much gone for a lot of it, and I'm going to a bunch of junior camps then. Connecticut, a lot near Boston, up in Utica, really everywhere. I'm also going to a camp at Harvard, which is pretty cool. What else? There's a bunch. I don't know right now. I mean, just July. Just know July is the big month for me.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing now. Sports, whether it's ice hockey or it's baseball or basketball or whatever sport, swimming, all these sports now are year round. As you get to the highest level, it becomes a year round thing. There's not much downtime.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of used to it now. I mean, the summers have always been filled with hockey. So, but all the sports, yeah. I mean, a bunch of my buddies, one of them is in Vermont. Other buddies playing locally, but almost every day. Another one of my buddies went all back to college. He's a football player. He went back to college already to get training camp going. But yeah, busy, very busy.
Very busy. Well, as you know, Joe, because you've probably watched a few of these on the dots, we like to leave the last word to you. And we've got 10 minutes till the puck drops. And you can talk as long as you want until that puck drops. But, you get the last word. So is there a message or something you want to say to the people that are watching all around the world, or that's going to watch it, on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, LinkedIn? You get the last word, and just don't hang up after after you say what you need to say, or whatever you want to say, and whatever message you want to say. So again, Joe, thank you so much for coming on. You're definitely a champion, and I'm just proud of you and love you. And again, FTC, right?
Yep. Yeah. So I guess parting words. I kind of learned that I used to think sports were everything for me, but after getting injured this season, I realized there's like a lot more than just sports, and not taking it so seriously is sometimes a good thing. Enjoy the other aspects of life besides sports. Don't make it everything sports. Find time to do stuff with your family or something like that. But yeah, that's it.